So your life has changed. What do you do now? Hey Charles, hey Allie. This is it's not really a video response, but this is just a video that is about seizures. I know Charles has his seizures. I know he's had 2 surgeries to get rid of that brain tumor. I hope that chemo gets rid of the rest of it, and I hope the seizures go away along with it. Some people, you know, they're not as lucky. Like me, I've had seizures for 16 years, and the reason why mine started is because when I was born, I had my brain wasn't formed right. The frontal lobe is a little bit smaller than the rest, and the main reason why I have the seizures is because I have what's called gray matter spot. You can sort of think of it as like a dirty spot on the brain, or a dead spot. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah, a dead spot. And I did the test just like you did. I had that little cap thing on with all the wires and probes, and had to have that little carry pack thing with you. Well, I stayed in the hospital for a week to do my test. I didn't take mine home like you did. But yeah, so they found out that the gray matter spot is in a location in my brain where they can't do surgery. Because if they do, it'll affect my speech and my movements with my motor skills. That's it. Yeah, so I mean, you know what that's like. You went through it, but you were lucky to be able to pull through it and regain everything, which is totally awesome. I unfortunately can't do that surgery. So because I was desperate to find out anything that I could on surgeries, medications, you name it, I was looking for something. And because when I have my seizures, I have what's called a blackout seizures. That's what I call them anyway, because one minute you're standing up all fine as can be, and the next thing you know, you're on the floor looking up like, what the heck just happened? Well, then of course you know you just had a seizure, but from the time you're standing to the time you hit that floor, you're blacked out. You don't know what happened. So I call them blackout seizures. So anyway, I found they were doing studies with what's called a vagal nerve stimulator, and I'll get a little closer to the light. I think you could probably see the little ring right here. It's actually a coil of wire, and it's the end of the wire goes to the vagal nerve in the neck. I'm not sure exactly where it's at in the neck. I just know it's in there somewhere. And then at the other end of that wire goes down into my chest, and it has like a battery pack. You hear it? It's sort of like the one that they use for a pacemaker. It only has a shelf life for so long. And mine will last for about 8 years. Well, I got about 3 more to go, and then I've got to go in for surgery and have a new battery put back in so I can keep going. It sucks, but you know, it's part of my life. And so there's, you know, there's options, you know, for some of us. Some, you know, you can't do nothing. Now the bad thing about the vagal nerve stimulator, as you can probably hear, my voice just changed. And this happens every 5 minutes for about 30 seconds. So normally when I do my videos, I try not to keep talking, because a lot of times when this kicks on, I don't know if it's the seizures or if it's this thing, but you can probably see how my mouth will move sometimes. It doesn't operate right. It just wants to go on its own and make weird looking faces, you know, but yeah, it's life. Now, see there, it just turned off. That's the good part. Bad thing is I'll never be able to be a singer. Oh well, that's life again. So anyway, I have so much to talk about, but anyway, I know in your one video you were talking about how you were getting sad and depressed, and you were saying how, you know, you looked up to God and you know, you more or less wanted to scream at him, why did it happen to you? Well, Charles, you're not alone. You're really not. Like I said, I've had my seizures for 16 years now, and I really don't have them now because they're under control with this thing here, and plus I'm on medication, and I'm on this for the rest of my life. I'll never have the opportunity to get off of it unless, hopefully, the doctors in the future, near future, I hope, you know, can come up with something that'll actually stop seizures altogether. I don't think it'll happen in my lifetime, but hey, I don't give up hope. And the one thing I wanted to tell you, Charles, is you have a good family, you have friends, they're your support. When you're feeling down, when you're feeling sad and you want to scream at the world, talk to them. Let them listen. They already know you have seizures, so just talk to them. Don't let it get to you, because if you let it get to you, like I did, I ended up divorced. And my wife at the time was my soulmate. She loved me to death. You know, she was with me from the time that my seizures started, and depression just got the better of me. So don't let it happen to you. I don't think it will, but please don't let it happen. So anyway, the main part of this video is I want to tell you something else, that anybody, this is for everybody that's watching this video that has a seizure disorder. Now, alright, I'm okay. I just lost my train of thought there for a second. In the state of Florida, when you are seizure free for 6 months, you get to drive again. I know this because I went 2 years without driving. It sucked. It was a pain in the ass. But eventually I went 6 months free of seizures, and my doctor approved me to drive. It's the best feeling in the world when you can drive again. But I have to warn you, and I don't know if your neurologist has told you this. If not, you can consult your neurologist and ask them about this, and I'm sure that they can tell you the same thing that I'm going to tell you. You can be seizure free for a number of months, a number of years, but just maybe, and it happens, you can have what's called a breakthrough seizure. It just happens, and there's no cause for it. It just comes. And if you're driving, Charles, that's where it gets scary. And I don't want nothing bad to happen to you or Allie or even your 2 dogs. So even if you're on your golf cart, if you had a seizure and you're by yourself, or even if you had, you know, your 2 dogs, you could crash. If you're out on along the sidewalk, you could go out in the street and get hit by a car. Anything could happen. The worst part is if you're driving the car. I drive every day. I know here that a breakthrough seizure could happen at any time. Do I let it worry me? No. And I don't want it to worry you either. I just want you to be aware. And that's for all of you. Please, just be aware. I don't want anything bad to happen to you or Allie or anybody else. I mean, God forbid. I've had 2 almost near fatal accidents. I could have lost my life. Luckily I didn't. Luckily I know better now. So please, what I would like for you and Allie to do is one day is to go find a big open, wide open parking lot with no poles, no parking curbs in the way. And I want you and Allie, this is when you can drive legally. Okay? Don't do anything crazy. But when you can drive again, please do this. The both of you get in your car and go to this big wide open parking lot if you can find one. And I want you to practice in giving Allie some kind of signal, whether you could say, like I used to say, help me. That's all I had to say. This is when I was married to my wife. I would say, help me. She knew right away that I was about to have a seizure. She would take and grab a hold of the steering wheel with one hand. She'd take the other hand and push my foot off the accelerator. And then once when she got where she can control the steering and keep it going straight, she would take now the car that we had, I had a handbrake in the center. And she would take and pull on the button and slowly lift up on that handbrake and bring the car to a stop. I don't know if your car has this. I really don't remember. I've seen inside your car in a number of videos, but my mind just don't last that long. So even if you don't, find a way to be able to bring that car to a stop, Allie. And this is for you, because you're the one that's going to help. You're the one who's going to have to help do this. It's on you. I hate to say it. I hate to put you in the spot, but yes, it's all on you. Because if Charles is ever having a seizure while he's driving, he can't do nothing. You can talk to him. You could scream at him. You could tell him to do this and do that, and he's not going to be able to do a thing. So it's all on you. So just find a way. Even if you have to get a different vehicle just for when Charles drives. If that's what it takes, find a car that you can do what you got to do to be able to get that car to a stop. Like I said, it's all on you. I just want everybody to be safe. I've seen too many times on the news where, like this one woman, she knew she had seizures, but she didn't go see a doctor. She didn't get her medication. She didn't do nothing. One day she was out driving, and a 14-year-old boy was at a school bus stop sitting on the bench by himself. I hate to say this, but he's no longer with us today. So that's why I say, don't let it worry you. Don't let it stress you. Just be aware. That's what I'm just telling all of you. Be safe. That's all I'm asking. Charles, you can drive by yourself. You can. Just remember the aura sensation that I've seen you talk about in your videos. I think just about everybody that has a seizure disorder has an aura sensation. Mine used to be in my hand, in the back of my hand. I just get this weird feeling in the back of my hand, and I knew seizure was coming. You only have so many seconds to do what you got to do. If you're driving, you got only a couple seconds. If you can by yourself, bring that car to a stop. I don't care if you're in the middle of traffic, you stop that car, because when you're blacked out, you can't do nothing. So please, just practice. That's all I ask. So say hello to Zoe and Marley and the rest of their family. I got to go. I just worked a 10-hour day today. I'm tired. And this is my life. Just like yours. No, not really. Just kidding. So you keep making those videos, because I'll keep watching. Y'all be good, y'all be safe, and have a good time. That's all I ask. See ya.